The Daily Dose, Extracting the Medicine. Today is all about impeccability with our word. There's so many layers to impeccability with our word. It can begin with the words that we choose to speak, because sounds, words, and motive from where they come have so much power. And if you go through all of the daily doses so far, all of them are tied into this one piece: impeccability with our word. What does that mean? Again, there are so many different layers we can go into here. So today's medicine is about when you hear it or see it, something that feels like impeccable imprint in the field or a projection in the field that might lead to something down the road. If you hear it or see it, say something. I don't know, I used to live in New York City, and if you see something in the subway, it became like the saying over the loudspeaker all the time, like see it, say something like that. But anyway, this daily dose, Extracting the Medicine, is about the medicine of impeccability with our word, and also the medicine of our communication, the power of empowered communication. So often we don't say something that we might see as like a transgression in the field, or transference, or a projection into a space, onto other people, onto ourselves. We might feel it onto ourselves and be like triggered and like, defend ourselves if someone says something that doesn't land the right way. I'm not so much talking about like an insult or anything like that. When you are practicing impeccability, and just imagine that you're in a space with other people who are also practicing impeccability, it's often like how you hold it. This was also the medicine when we were playing conscious hardball in the last daily dose, Extracting the Medicine. But it's how we hold the thing that we're saying. It's the come from. It's the come from, the words we choose to deliver the information. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm in this space with a few people, and we have this commitment to impeccability. We have this commitment to the highest place of personal responsibility, of making no assumptions, of not taking things personally. Basically, the 4 agreements. If you're not familiar with Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The 4 Agreements, or the Toltec Way, many indigenous ways, it's not like it began with this book. These are ancient principles of traveling our own personal ladder of evolution, and the 4 agreements are super powerful. But we're sticking with this one today: impeccability with our word. And so I'm in this space with this group of people, very small, but we're really, really committed to certain ways of showing up. And we're all a growth process. We're all in this growth process. And so sometimes, we are really good at being impeccable with our word. Sometimes, like I have, one of my superpowers is tracking. So I track, I hear every word, and I can kind of assign a meaning. Sometimes it's only through my own lens of perception based on my own imprints, why is it triggering something in me? And other times it's about, and I have to take that personal responsibility. Other times it's being able to discern, like, ooh, that was dropping something into the field that was a little bit out of alignment with our agreements. It was a little out of alignment with, the alignments that we have here. And so how can we, what we see is after, like down the road, if we don't say something, it plays out. Either I am now experiencing kind of the imprint of this thing that was dropped into the field, for example. And I'm like, I should probably say something. Well, I think it might have been my medicine here to extract is to say it when I see it, to feel that feeling, and some of us might call it empathy. Yes, partially, knowing that we are an antenna, that we feel things. Well, what are we going to do with that? How do we hold those feelings? Do we say something? Do we internalize it and let it brew and stew until it actually becomes a thing? Or can we speak to this thing in a beautiful way for the intention that other people get their medicine, that you have received your medicine, and that we are doing this, like saying it for the highest good of all, the space, or whatever the intention is that your group has together. Or if it's 2 people, whatever the intention, it's always for the highest good. So this is the medicine. Really, really being able to track for the imprints and the projections that are being placed into a field. Sometimes we call these biases, or statements that might be generated by a bias. And how do we be super impeccable with our word and say what needs to be said from a really, really healed place? Like, we do not want to speak from a trigger, right? No bueno. Usually it doesn't, the come from is I'm a victim, I'm injured, right? Or I'm rescuing the others, I'm rescuing the situation. Or if you really are triggered, you might become a perpetrator. And we want to stay off that triangle of victim, perpetrator, rescuer. So here's my daily dose, extracting the medicine of being impeccable with your word. Where are you finding the medicine for you and this opportunity to extract? It's like every day we have an opportunity to clean our contribution to the field via our words. We have an opportunity to clean that up in our energy and our feelings. Those are also energetic frequencies we're putting into the field, the collective, whether it's small group or a larger collective. That, my friends, is really our contribution also to the outer impact we want to have in the world. It's like, what is the frequency we're putting into our space and into the collective through using impeccability with our word and our thoughts. When I spent some time in a Kogi village, which is a tribe in Colombia, in the Santa Marta Mountains in Colombia, we were not allowed to go into their village until we did this whole long cleansing process. We were not allowed to go into their village unless we purified our thoughts, because they know about projecting energy and frequency into their field and their space. They knew that. They're that connected to source and the cosmos and themselves and the earth. So this is just a small little nugget on extracting the medicine. Let me know of impeccability with your word. Let me know how this lands. Share it if you like it, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.